Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while. That's because I ended up falling down a waterfall, cracked my head, got a concussion. So for the longest time now, if I move my head anywhere like that, the world is spinning and spinning. It's just finally getting better. So it's been difficult to how to do other kinds of practice. Actually, it's useful in its own way. So today, I'm actually going to go back, talk about something more advanced for me, only because this is what I've been working on for the past year. Some of the discoveries I've been making training on my own. Okay, this is a little more esoteric, but I figure only people sticking around watching this anyway, very few of you, is most likely people looking for more advanced things anyway. So beginner stuff is done anyway. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about what I've learned, okay? How to improve my structure and pass on what I've learned to you. May or may not be useful. I'll pass it on anyway, okay? So, actually so many different elements. Almost like starting from scratch. Always good to go back, rewind what you're working on, say, fundamentally, what am I working on here? How can I make this better? Structure is the most important, number one thing for me, okay? Actually, with my children, I started teaching them, took them back to the beginning and work on structure again. That's kind of the impetus for this lesson. So, I'll start from the basics, because actually this was very useful. I noticed a big improvement in my children when I was teaching them this, to use this analogy. So, you try with me, okay? I want you to imagine you're maybe changing tire, doing something like that on the ground. All of a sudden your car, you're working on emergency brake, has broken. The car starts to roll down the hill towards you. Okay? A lot of mass, a lot of force behind it. Actually get out of your chair or whatever and imagine, you have to imagine you're here. You jump up, here comes this car is rolling at you. Okay, you know how much a car weighs, it's rolling down the slope at you. Now, you go and stop this car from rolling. Okay? So, really imagine, here's the rolling car. You go, you stop this car from rolling. Okay? Whatever stance you're in right now, okay, that's actually the foundation for what your stance should be in martial arts, in Wing Chun. So, why? Because you want to make sure that you can withstand this incoming force. In Wing Chun, we want to be the center of the storm here, okay? So, to do that, you have to have incredible structure to be able to not throw people around. Otherwise, you'll get thrown around, okay? Nothing you do is going to matter if you don't have the structure. So, but the structure, I realize, if you're bored, you can go somewhere else. This is a little bit more complicated. So, the structure in Wing Chun we first learned here, okay, in Yi Ji Kim Yung Ma, our stance here, the triangle stance. But what you need to remember, the concept, this is a concept of creating a strong triangle structure. That triangle can look like so many different things. It's a concept that you're maintaining, okay? It's just to show you that all your energy is going to this forward point. How you do it is totally dependent on you. So, working with my children, working with other friends, we're playing around with stuff. How they develop their stance is up to you. It has to be for using you what works for your body type. Everyone's totally different. So that's why I use the car analogy, okay? So how you stop this car, whatever you do to stop the car, that's how you hold your structure. Most likely it's good, the most natural way is the best way. Okay, I tried this with my friend, we're trained together. He was trying to do a proper Wing Chun structure. I pushed him, he went rolling back. Then when I said, just imagine, just do what you normally do, here comes the car, then he actually did incredibly well, I couldn't move him, okay? So, you only have to make a couple of adjustments. That's the general idea. You stop the car, that's your stance, okay? Only adjustment, couple. First, number one. Now when you stop this car, do it again. Here comes the car rolling, you stop the car. I want you to try to stop the car by make yourself immobile, not by leaning forward into the car. In reality, you can lean forward because the car's there, okay? In a fighting scenario, we don't want to lean forward because the person's automatically going to take advantage of if they know anything, okay? So you have to get the same idea, same stop the car, but by sinking down, making yourself strong like this, okay? 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, how you would naturally do it, okay? That's going to be your fighting stance there. That's the basics, okay? You want to work on that. You can have someone push against you. You have them use a Muay Thai pad, whatever, and come push against you. You can push against the wall. I use my wooden dummy and sink down. You can do the same thing. Or sentry bob, whatever, anything to practice that sink down, absorb this incoming force. We'll get into more advanced about pivoting stuff. That's a different story, okay? This is just about your structure, okay? The next thing I'm going to talk about, this is just stuff I have learned. I may change my mind in a year, and I'll tell you something different. That's why I'm always just sharing what I've learned along the way. Not right or wrong, maybe it works for you, doesn't work for you, okay? So, next thing I've been working a lot, studying different types of Haka Arso, Bakme, things like that. Also standing Chun, the standing poses, all kinds of different stuff. Working on structure, all right? In some cases, for instance, Bakme and Wing Chun, the stance is very closely related. They also have Yichi Kim Yung Ma. Some stuff's very useful that I pick up and incorporate, okay? First one I talked to you already about, letting your shoulders sink down, okay, into this. So this, almost think of having like as your chin's down here, we already know the spine thing, don't need to go into it with you. Sink your shoulders, collapse, let them drop and sink down. The trick here I've learned, make sure it's not tension, you're relaxing and dropping them down. That allows you to make your arms very, very heavy when combined with one other trick, okay? So as you drop and sink to relax your shoulders down, then in Kung Fu there's a term called monkey chest. Monkey chest means you actually let your collapse sink your chest. Sink is the wrong word, collapse your chest, okay? So your shoulders relaxing down, collapse your chest. These two combined things, it's not metaphysical or it's just physical, okay? These two combined things, you feel it, try it. Drop, relax your shoulders, collapse the monkey chest. So collapse your chest. Now you can feel your arms can get very relaxed and very heavy, okay? This makes a big difference when you're trying to throw relaxed power. It's a big difference, okay? It allows you to release the tension that you normally, I can feel it. It allows you, your arms feel like they're made of clay, like lead. So it allows you to have very, very heavy hands when you're throwing punches. How do I know? I try on the Century Bob, the amount of the thud, the amount of uprooting you're doing with pads, you knock the focus mitt out of someone's hand with it, the amount of relaxed power, it's totally, for me it was revolutionary, okay? Combine these two things. Not just collapse, relax and drop your shoulders, collapse your chest at the same time. Combined with Yiji Kim Yung Ma, so tilting your pelvis forward, sinking down here. But if you're here still listening, you're already doing that, okay? This creates this snake shape here, overall, this S shape here, okay? So your bottom of your spine should be totally straight. This top part here is curved and sunk. Okay, your back, everything's sunk down here, everything is collapsed here. Then it allows, when you relax, you can get totally different than holding tension, completely night and day. Okay? So, that's it. For now, you can work on it. It's very simple. I'm not talking about moving anything else right now. Just that, okay? Sink down. Imagine here comes a car, you stop the car, okay? Then, if you want to practice this, how can you practice? You can actually practice the same thing in the Sunam Tao, so still holding the same, focusing on all those different points. Expansion, contraction. It's all about compression into your stance. It makes this possible. It's really exciting. So, other place, one of the best places you can practice it is doing, if you have a friend and you're doing Chi Sao. When you're doing Chi Sao, you focus on keeping this. You'll find that for them, your arms are going to feel very, very heavy, and that's a perfect time to work on this structure, because during Chi Sao, they're pushing against you, trying to move you, and you make yourself the center of the tornado here. Make yourself the center of the tornado through this compression, okay? It's exciting. Then, of course, Gorsao, next step. Free sparring, next step. But start step by step. First, standing, okay? Then you can do Chi Sao, then Gorsao, then free sparring, and hopefully you can still, if you have the wooden dummy, also amazing for this. So those are my tips about your structure. I hope you find it helpful, a little more in depth, but that's honestly, I'm just sharing with you, this is what I've been working on. And for me, I've noticed some exciting, really exciting changes. So that's why I share it. Good luck with your training. I hope everything's going well. Please feel free to comment on the comments if you have own stuff with your structure that you're working on that's useful for people, because I'm learning every day too. I'm always experimenting. Sometimes I get things wrong. Sometimes for me, I get them right, okay? You may have your own things to share as well. I appreciate it. Until next time, stay strong, stay safe. We'll see you back here next time.